Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings, sir. Okay, on this occasion, we are from Group 3 and we are going to present our work about self-harming. But first of all, let me introduce the member of the group. Okay, so the first one is Khadijah Syarifatun Nisa, the second one is Madina Aulia Rahmawati, the next one is Muhammad Gifari, Muhammad Rahen Kautsar, Nabila Syafia, Nadia Khairunisa, Nela Izati, and the last one is me, Charlene Junika. So let's jump to the presentation. Have you ever felt to hurt yourself to make yourself feel better? I just want to feel better. My own body is my deepest enemy. It wants, it wants, it wants, and when it doesn't get, it cries and I punish it. How can you live in fear of your own body? Quotes by Kathleen Glasgow. I think this quote is represent some of us who are struggling with self-harming. And as I mentioned before, the topic that we are going to discuss is about self-harming and how dangerous it is. The World Health Organization revealed that there are about 20% of teenagers in the world who injure themselves by scratching, razor blades, hitting, biting, and grabbing themselves against the wall to relieve the pain. And this action is called self-harming. As a psychology student, we must be still concerned about mental health. Self-harming is one of the problems that is quite important for psychologists because many people hurt themselves as an emotional coping. Self-harming is very dangerous, and that's the reason why we take this topic to become our discussion. It should be known that self-harm can be happen to everyone. We cannot judge people with a good background to not do that. In this presentation, they are going to have three big topics. The first one is definition of self-harming. The second one is how dangerous self-harming can be, and the last one is suggestion to avoid self-harming.
Okay, before we going further to self-harm, let's start with the definition of self-harm first. We often hear the word self-harm, but did we know the exact meaning of self-harm? Self-harm is the act of deliberately inflicting pain and damage to one's own body. Self-harm is an expression of personal distress and where the person directly intends to injure one's own body.
After we talk about definition of self-harm, we will talk about cause and effect of self-harm. The cause of person self-harm is because it can be a means expressing or coping with emotional distress, a form of disappointment with her or himself, relieving unbearable tension, and a way of punishing themselves. And there are so many effects caused by self-harm. The effect received from self-harm, for the first one is feeling of shame, disgust, and guilt. The second is poor self-esteem and self-image. The third is permanent scarring appears, injured tendons, nerves, blood vessels, and muscles. The fourth is permanent weakness or numbness in certain areas. Fifth is infection at the site of self-harm. And the last one is suicidal thoughts and behavior.
After we talk about the cause of a person's do self-harming, we should know about examples of self-harming. Maybe all of us have heard about self-harming, but here we will mention some more about examples of self-harming. First of all is cutting yourself. We know that usually people do the self-harm by using a razor blade, knife, or other sharp object to cut the skin. Second is punching yourself or punching like a wall. Third is burning yourself with cigarettes, matches, or candles. Fourth is pulling out your hair. Fifth is poking object through body openings. And last is breaking your bones or bruising yourself. Did you know, guys, that self-harm may have methods, but the most common methods are first, skin cutting, 70 until 90%. Second, head banging or hitting, 21 until 44%. And last, burning, 15 until 35%. Other forms of self-injury include excessive scratching to the point of drawing blood, punching, infecting oneself, inserting objects into body openings, drinking something harmful, and breaking bones purposefully. Most individuals who engage in non-suicidal self-injury hurt themselves in more than one way.
It should be noted, self-harm is very dangerous from the examples that we explained, starting from physical injury and increasing the risk of suicide. Someone who does self-harm is often hospitalized or ends up with permanent disability or maybe death. It can cause addiction to the perpetrator to do it every chance he or she gets. Self-harm is one of the symptoms of a psychiatric disorder in a person to control emotions. It means someone who does self-harm tends to have a lot of problem controlling their emotions and socializing with other people.
And next, we're gonna move into how to fight self-harm. If you feel like hurting yourself, there's many ways to fight self-harming. The first one, you can try to talk about how you feel to friends, family, or health professionals. We also can restrict ourselves from the urge to self-harm. There's many options, such as exercise, shout, pain, and go for a walk. And most importantly, you can stay calm and reduce your feeling or anxiety.
Okay, the last is why should we get help? According to mental health foundation, we must tell someone because telling someone about your self-harm shows strength and courage. It can often be a huge relief to be able to get let go of such a secret. Self-harm is a form of suicide because self-harm is a way for them to try to survive. We must help the psychology or psychiatrist because if left untreated, attempt to fight suicidal ideation will turn into suicidal ideation and self-harm can be one factor in suicide. Therefore, it's very important to get help and support from the people around them.
So, the conclusion from our previous presentation is that self-harming is still very common and there are so many people who have not been educated. Self-harm is a mental problem that is often handled by psychologists. People with any background can do self-harm if they can express their negative emotion properly or emotional coping. There are many forms of self-harm, starting from hitting objects, using sharp objects, etc. Self-harm patients must be treated properly before they act more severely against themselves. After we explained from the discussion earlier, we can care about ourselves and the others. We can see that there are so many people who don't understand about self-harm and even have a very little view on this issue. However, now that we understand the various facts and methods we can use to avoid self-harm, we have a clearer and new view that self-harm is a very dangerous for everyone. Are you guys tired of the pain? The pain that you keep receiving is better if you never get it, right? So why don't you try to share with us? Share everything that makes you feel sad. No need to keep all by yourself and end up hurting yourself. We are all here and we will help you, so let's try to stop, okay? As we know that the cause of self-harm is expressing or coping with emotional distress, a form of disappointment with themselves, relieving unbearable tension, and a way of punishing themselves. So self-harm can happen to everyone without looking at someone's background. To end this presentation, let us run over the key points again briefly. Their definition, cause and effect, symptoms, way to avoid, and lastly, suggestion to avoid. Okay, last but not least, we have a song lyric relatable to self-harming. This is Breathe Me by Sia, and this is the lyric, Help, I have done it again. I have been here many times before, hurt myself again today. And the worst part is there's no one else to blame. Okay, I'd like to thank you for watching this video and sorry for the mistakes. I hope this video is useful for all of you who watch this. Also, I want to say thank you to Mr. Hassan. Thank you for being a truly outstanding lecturer. Your passion for teaching and your dedication to us is obvious everything you do. Lastly, we are from Group 3, and now we will end our presentation. Hope you guys will have a good day ahead. Bye-bye.